Hi. So through the previous video, we came across a sample data set containing around 700 line items. This data set actually contains the day-to-day sales transactions across various products that were carried out in different countries by several segments. Now, even if we have 700 items listed, we would have only 8 or 9 countries maybe. So we could see that the country names are repeating itself, right? Similar is the case for segments too. So here how to identify the unique values. That is how to identify the list of countries that we actually operate in. Right? For this, we could use the remove duplicates feature available under the data tab. So copy the entire column without header for now, entire country column. In the next sheet, I have the header country already available. So paste the data under the header here. Now let the selection be in place. Do not change it. Do not move it. Go to the data tab. Under the data tools group, we have the option to remove duplicates. Click that. A window pops out. So it identifies that we have a data with the header above, and hence this checkmark is automatically ticked, and that header comes as the list of columns here. If we do not have a header, the list of columns will show column A, column B, column C, so on and so forth. So simply by pressing the OK button here, all the duplicates will be removed. So what if I have two or more columns? Huh? If we have two or more columns, only the rows that are repeating itself in its entirety will get removed. For example, say if I paste country and segment here and remove duplicate. Country Germany might repeat itself because there are different segments operating there. Say Germany has 5 lines for segments: government, mid market, enterprise, small business, and government again. Now, the result will contain 4 lines for 4 different segments, but the country name again will be repeating. Only the duplicated segment, that is the repeated government row, will be removed, right? So, all the unique items will be there forever. So coming back to the activity here, once we click on OK, it shows the dialog box that these number of duplicates found and removed, and these number of unique values are there. 5 unique countries are there in this entire list. All the other 695 items are duplicates. Okay. So now we will learn how to use 6 powerful Excel formulas: SUMIF, COUNTIF, and AVERAGEIF, and then the SUMIFs, COUNTIFs, and AVERAGEIFs. So in the left side, we have unique list of countries taken from the original data set. So with this, we will understand the first 3 formulas. On the right side, we use the 3 formulas to track the sales. More generically, here's what each of those formulas do for you. SUMIF add values if a condition is met. COUNTIF count up the number of items that meet a condition. AVERAGEIF conditionally averages values. These formulas allow you to add logic to a spreadsheet. Let's look at how to use each formula. Think of SUMIF as a way to add values that meet a rule. We can add up a list of values that are from a certain category, or say all values that are greater than or less than a specified amount, something like that. So equal to SUMIF, open the bracket. Here the syntax goes like this: first select the range of cells which needs to be checked, second what to be checked, and third what to be added here if this condition is met. So here we need to add the sales of the respective countries, that is what we are keeping in mind, and we need to remember the cell referencing types always when creating the formula: absolute, mixed, relative references. So here the first argument is the country column, is where we need to check the condition. Please this change to absolute reference by pressing F4, comma. The second argument is the condition, and the condition in our case is the country name. So select the country name in the left, leave it as relative references, so we could copy paste it down, comma. The sales column is what we need to add up. So select the sales column and paste this to close the bracket. So this is the result that shows the total sales of this country is this much. So copy paste to the below cells to find values of the other country. Average if has the same arguments, but it returns the average sales for that country. So the formula is average if, open the bracket, the country column to check the condition, freeze it, comma, the condition is the country name, comma, the sales column is what we need to consider for taking the average, and freeze this to close the bracket. This result shows the average sales of this country. So copy paste to identify average sales of other countries here. And the general format of COUNTIF is different. It has only two arguments, unlike SUMIF and AVERAGEIF. These two had three arguments. COUNTIF has only two arguments. One, the number of cells to count, the cells to count. Second one is the criteria to count. So using the same set of data, let's count the number of sales transaction in each country. Equal to COUNTIF, open the bracket, a country column, freeze, comma, the reference to the country name we need to check, close the bracket, and enter. So this is the number of transactions that took place in this country. Copy paste to identify the same for other countries. If we are checking in the column containing values, we could search for greater than or less than criteria also. So for that, we need to enter the criteria, that is what to check within double quotes. That is within double quotes greater than 50,000, within double quotes less than 10,000, something like this. Now, what if we want to know the number of sales transactions, total amount of sales, and the average amount of sales that is particular to a segment, just for those sold in this country? This is where COUNTIFs, SUMIFs, and AVERAGEIFs play an important role. All three formula can take more than one criteria. First, total sales per segment. We will take that equal to sum ifs. So the total is sum of everything, right? The sum ifs, open the bracket. Here, first argument is the sum range itself, the range what we need to add. This is placed as the first argument because we might have more than one criteria, right? So we don't know how much criteria we are going to enter. There can be up to 125 criteria. So the Excel cannot have this as the last one. So this is placed as the first argument, comma, the criteria range 1, the range where we need to check for criteria 1, that is the country column, right, comma. The third argument is the criteria 1, what we need to check in the previous range selected, the country name, right? So select the country name, leave it as relative references, again, comma, the second criteria range. The second criteria range is the segment column, since we need to see the total sales for this particular segment, right? Select the segment column, freeze it again, comma. The second criteria, criteria 2, is the segment that is available here. Select this and fix this because we do not have anything in the other cells and we do not want to refer any other cells later. Close this and enter. That's it. It's a pretty easy formula actually, right? Averages is again similar to this and has similar arguments. For want of time, I will just copy the full SUMIFs function and from the formula bar, go to the averageifs column, press F2 to enter the edit mode, paste the formula and change the name of the formula from SUMIFs to AVERAGEIFS. That's it. Because of the similar arguments, it is easier to copy paste the formula here. COUNTIFs, similar to COUNTIF, enter it equal to COUNTIFs, open the bracket, first criteria range, the country name column, comma, the criteria 1, country name, comma, the second criteria range is the segment column selected, comma, the criteria 2 is the segment itself. Select it, freeze it, close the bracket, and enter. So it counts the transactions when all the criteria are satisfied, right? So one quick pro tip here. This is not actually a pro tip. This is an essential tip. You need to check the height and width wherever required. The height should be same. The condition and the sum range should be having the same height. The start row and end row should be same if you're analyzing a row wise data. The start column and end column should be same if you are analyzing the column wise data. So check that in all the three areas, the range starts from this row and ends in this row. It starts in this row, ends in this row. This is how it should be. It should not change. For example, if you are selecting some range from the header and you are selecting the criteria range from the normal sale transaction, first transaction, it will throw an error or it will add up something else. This will be an erroneous calculation. So ensure that all the height or the width of the cell ranges selected are equal and is what is required for your calculation, right? So we will see the functions used for data extracting from text and functions used for finding something within text in the next video. Until then, bye bye.